Let's be real. As business owners, if you want to drive an initiative into your business, you've got the trump card. You can implement anything you want, anything you want to change. You want to change the structure of your team? You want to change compensation plans? You can do it. Hey everyone, if you're a small business owner, my guess is you have so many ideas, more ideas than what you can actually implement. Now, if you've read the book Traction from EOS, written by Gino Wickman, I've read that book. I know quite a bit about EOS, and I think that they have a lot of great tools and frameworks and concepts. But one of the issues that I don't love about EOS is a lot of their stuff is for bigger businesses, certainly 10 million and above. Like when you actually get to having a C-suite, I think some of their concepts, frameworks work really well. Taking their stuff and trying to apply it down to a $1 million, $2 million, $3 million business, it just doesn't work as well. And one of the ideas that I don't love is this visionary, integrator type thing. And what ends up happening, the one part about it, is it almost gives a license to the business owner to be this visionary where they can just go around visionating all over the place. Here's an idea and here's an idea, and you go implement my ideas. And so it becomes this idea spaghetti on the wall type of thing. It's like marketing. It's not going to work. You can't just throw a bunch of stuff out. There's limited resources with a small business, and where you decide to put money, your team capacity, your time, your mental bandwidth, it matters. It matters a lot. So that being said, though, we have a maxim. We have a maxim in Blueprint that is ideas are everywhere. Implementation is everything. Okay? Ideas are everywhere. Implementation is everything. It's another way of saying ideas are not as important as execution. And I think that's true. But the question is how do you actually validate an idea well? And then how do you actually implement it well? I have talked to so many business owners. I've talked to, whether you want to call them integrators, second in commands, COOs, EAs, office managers, whatever. This second person that's running the business. And almost inevitably, whenever you talk to them about, when the business owner or business owners, the visionary, quote, so to speak, comes with ideas, how well do those ideas actually get implemented? And universal, the answer is not very well. And so what I wanted to do is I saw this theme kind of coming about. So I did my initial thinking. I did some thinking time to think, what are the elements when a business owner does have a really good idea that they want to implement into the business? So if you're doing $500,000, $1 million, $1.5 million, there are going to be times that you're going to have ideas. And it's implementing those ideas well is what can give lift into the business. So it's not to say that ideas in and of themselves are worthless. Even the implementation starts initially with an idea, of course. But how do you go from idea to implementation and to do it well? So to do that, we're going to be working through a framework that I've created. And by the way, if you hang in, if you're watching this on YouTube, this asset, this document, I'll share with you how you can get completely free access to this document and a few other things inside of our Rainmaker to Architect toolkit. Matter of fact, I'll just tell you now, just go to blueprintos.com. You navigate to the resources page, or if you just go to the URL, blueprintos.com/assets. If you go there, you'll be able to opt into our circle community. It's where Rainmaker to Architect toolkit is. This asset and a number of other ones are there completely for free for you to be able to check out. Okay, so let's get into it. So what is this? How do you take a good idea and make it a successful rollout? And so, look, before you execute, slow down long enough to think it through. I think this framework is going to ensure that you have clarity, alignment, and a real plan, not just execution. You'll see the maxim that we have there. Ideas are everywhere. Implementation is everything. Most ideas don't fail because they were a bad idea. They fail because no one slowed down long enough to answer the right questions, before the momentum wore off. And this document, if nothing else, I think can become a forcing function. Again, you can pick this up, go to blueprintos.com/resources. You can get access to this asset for you. So there's a few different kind of phases. So phase one is the idea. I think you don't want to just, step number one, just name the idea, okay, in one or two sentences. I don't think if you can at least give it some sort of one sentence thing, it may not even be ready in and of itself, okay? Below that is, what's the reason that I think that this is even a good idea? What problem is this idea going to solve in the business? Again, we're looking for one or two sentences. Step number two, it's kind of a strategic filter. What would this idea actually accomplish? Would this help us get more customers, acquisition? Would this help us make our customers worth more? That's ascension. Would this help us keep our customer longer, retention? Would this save time or reduce friction? Maybe this is an efficiency idea. Or would this reduce cost, improve margins, effectively helping us to become more profitable? How does this specifically move the needle in business? Maybe there's a few other kind of broader buckets that an idea would fall into, but I think it's going to probably be one of those four things. It's going to help us get more customers, make our customers be worth more, keep them longer. It's going to make us more efficient, or it's going to make us more profitable. Phase number two is really around clarity. Okay. Clear outcomes. What does a win look like this? What specifically changes? What can you measure? What will you hear or see or feel whenever this works? You'll see on the left-hand side, so what's the best case scenario here? And then next to that is, what's a minimum win? So if we were to implement this, what would this look like? What would a win look like for this idea, ideally? And then what would make it even minimally viable? Those two things matter. Step number four is, what's the nature of this idea? Okay, we're trying to figure out here, is this a permanent change? Is this something we're just going to experiment and test with? Or is this a bridge? Is this something we're doing temporary to just get us from kind of where we are now until our real solution down the road is actually going to be 3 months or 6 months from now? So is this something permanent we're considering? Is this maybe a test or experiment we're doing? Or is this a bridge? Okay. If it's an experiment, how long do we want the test window to be? I will tell you, if you're going to run an experiment, which I think is a great idea, 90 days. If we're bridging, what are we bridging from and to? Again, this entire thing is helping us to take an idea and actually roll it out well. And hopefully you can see already in 4 different, steps or questions here, how much this becomes a forcing function for you, the business owner, to actually roll ideas out well. Is this going to guarantee success of the idea? No, but I can tell you, it's going to help you to be able to get off to a much better start and then give the idea a much better, chance of succeeding than otherwise. Okay. Phase number 3, people and communication. So who owns it? Are you going to own this? And you'll see it says single owner. It can't be a team or a department. It's got to be one throat to choke, one person to say this person owns it. And if you're the one that owns it, then that's totally fine too. And then below that, who's involved and who's supporting? Is there somebody, maybe you own it, but you've got 2 or 3 other people that are on the team that are involved in this project or decision. And then maybe people are not involved in it. They're not making decisions, but maybe they need to know. Maybe you have some people in your team. This is really a sales thing, and this is all about the sales department, but you certainly need your account managers and your retention team members, and your customer care people. They certainly need to know what's going on. So we would, kind of keep them informed. Number 7, communication plan. Okay. When do we want people to even know we're doing this idea? All right. That way that we get away from, oh, I didn't know. I think there's a lot of times it's inadvertent lack of communication, not purposeful lack of communication. That's the thing I see the most often, is they're like, oh yeah, I forgot to go and tell that department, I forgot to inform some of them. It's a good idea. Just when are you going to let people know what's going on? And then I got a little question down there. Top 3 questions they may ask. It's almost like a FAQ for your team or the other people involved. Okay. Next, timeline. This is super valid. What do we roughly think the timeline is? Okay, we're going to have a decision, by this date. We're going to kick this thing off or launch it by this date. We're going to kind of do a first review, and then we'll do a full eval or end this idea during this period of time. Just give us some sort of a timeline. When are you looking at? I mean, we're looking at even this morning. We've really been kicking around switching our CRM within Blueprint, and we've wanted to do this for quite some time. We have finally landed on the solution, which one we're actually going to switch to, and why we're switching to that. And so our team came at a discussion of like, hey, when do we actually want this to be done by? And we had a really good discussion about like, kind of end state. I think end state to get everything switched over is this, but like, here's how I kind of see the rollout. What are your thoughts? And we just had a really good discussion. I think we're on the quote, on the same page. And this is what that document helps you to be able to do, is because we are able to talk about this, this idea of timeline. Okay. These next ones I think are really important. The phase 4 is a pre-mortem. Pre-mortem. Before we even do it, what all could go wrong? List the realistic risk, not just the paranoid ones. What could really actually go wrong? Next kind of question to ask yourself, what would make this die on the vine? Is it lack of follow through? The wrong person owns it, no time allocated. What would make this die on the vine? Lastly, or next, what worst case scenario? We did kind of best case on the ideal outcome, okay? And we'll do that again in just a second. But if this were to fail badly, what actually happens? Is this something that could sink the company? Is this something that would be we just wasting time? Is this, I think I've heard it called, is this does this door swing one way, or does it swing both ways potentially, right? If we go through this door, all right, is it no coming back? Or is it like, well, no, we could come back from this. It's just, it'd kind of be a pain in the butt. Compensation plans is kind of like this. Yeah, you can roll this compensation plan out and you can bring it back or reverse it, but that would cause a lot of problems. Is it going to kill the company? Maybe not, but it may impact your culture for sure. Those are the kind of decisions you want to think about. And also kind of next to that, what does it look like if it all goes right? You'll see it's kind of similar to like clear outcomes. And I've got it on there twice for a reason, is because I think it's important to not just think about, the best case scenario once, but to think about it again, but also to think about it right next to the worst case scenario. Let's just get it all out. What's the worst thing that can happen here? What's the best thing that could happen here? Again, this document, forcing function for all of those ideas that you have. And then finally, phase number 5, this actually gets into the verdict. Is there one place that's a single source of truth? Is there a Word document, an Excel spreadsheet, a Notion page, a Google Doc? Is there one single source of truth? How often do we want to try to review this? Review cadence. Is this weekly? Is this we're going to meet monthly on this? When's the next time we're going to review it? And then down at the bottom, we've just got kind of a section, where you can kind of check this box. We're doing this. We're full go. No, we're going to do this as kind of an experiment. Or, we've decided actually after getting this out, I think we're going to park and lot this. Let's be real. As business owners, if we want something, if you want to drive an initiative into your business, you've got the trump card, literally. You can implement anything that you want, anything you want to change. You want to change the structure of your team? You want to change compensation plans? You can do it. It's really important to realize the power that you have, but to use it wisely. When you have that much power and you can change things, okay, on the dime, oftentimes we start just switching things just to switch them. We get bored. And so we decide we're going to go change something. We are really good firefighters in our businesses, but we are far better arsonists in the business. Sometimes we will go and start fires literally just to go put them out. We think that this idea is solving a problem, but if we would have just slowed down long enough, We could have seen all of the unknown unknowns, but to come to find out, they were not unknown unknowns. They were things that were known. We just never slowed down enough to actually make sure that this was going to get rolled out and implemented correctly. We've decided to make some changes with how we do some of the podcasting and our YouTube, et cetera. That was not a decision that was made lightly. That was not a decision that was made on a whim, emotionally, over one day. That was something that was discussed over a long period of time. And we feel like that was the right thing for us to be able to do. This document is one of these documents that I created, honestly, to kind of solve the problem myself, is to, whenever I have ideas and things that I want to change, how can I get this out and use this document myself as a forcing function for me and the team to make sure, have you actually thought through all of these things? Is this going to guarantee success? Will this document, every idea that you have is now going to get implemented, perfectly into the business, who you decide to hire, how you decide to restructure your organization, how you restructure compensation plans for your sales team, your service team, your EA, on and on. No, it's not. But I think what it can do is it can become a really fine filter. You as the entrepreneur, you have a wide funnel. You're listening to podcasts like this. You're going to conferences. You're reading books. You're listening to books. You're listening to courses online. Keep doing it. Keep having that super wide funnel to where all of these ideas are coming in, talking to other business owners, joining coaching programs, whether it's ourselves or Coach P or something like that. Go into these programs. Be open to them. Be a wide funnel. But at some point, you got to have a fine filter. You got to have something that checks you and checks your assumptions and says, wait a minute now, have you actually thought through this a little bit? Have you slowed down long enough? Or are you just going to convince yourself that this is the thing to do? Because as the business owner, you've got the trump card. My hope is that this framework, this tool can help you to slow down long enough so that you can take some of these good ideas and successfully roll them out into your business, because it really is through ideas, but actually ideas that get implemented where changes really begin to take place into your business. So if you would like help going from being the rainmaker to becoming the architect of your business and having your business to run on a blueprint instead of running through you all the time, you can book in a call. Just go to blueprintos.com. You'll see it on the page. You can book in a call. We'll find out a little bit about where your business is today. We call that point A. We'll find out about where you want to go into the future. We call that point B. And we'll figure out kind of what's keeping you stuck from that point, from point A to point B. We call that the theory of constraints. And then we'll help you devise a plan specifically to overcome that constraint so you can grow your business and run that business on a blueprint. I look forward to chatting with you on a Blueprint Game Plan call. Until next time, lead well and go be great.